What's up, comic book fans? And welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ what they call me. And today, we got more Ultimate Spider-Man. This time with issue 5 of this Jonathan Hickman series. And I know it's been a while since I've covered the new Ultimate Universe, but I'm going to try my best to get caught up with this, and maybe a few other series I've fallen behind on. But if you've missed any of the last 4 issues of the series, then I'll put up a link at the top of your screen and a card at the end of the video. But when we left off with this series, we had that double date with Peter and his wife MJ alongside Harry Osborn and his wife Gwen Stacy. And in addition to that, we finally got the name to Ben Parker and J. Jonah Jameson's new online news publication called The Paper. So if you guys are ready to find out what other changes have been made in this crazy new world during the opening arc to the Ultimate Spider-Man series, then you guys know what time it is. Let's get it. So this issue kicks off months ago, before the ending of the Ultimate Universe one-shot, with Norman Osborn as he's hosting a party. But he doesn't quite seem to be enjoying himself since his son Harry is running late. Now Harry's mom Emily Osborn tries to offer up an excuse as to why their son hasn't yet made his appearance. But we all know Norman Osborn isn't one for excuses, and he doesn't appreciate his wife offering up one for their son. But then Emily gets a phone call from Harry. But as a surprise to Harry, his father Norman answers her phone. And when he asks Harry where he's at, Harry lets him know that he's only a couple blocks away and that he'll be there in about 5 minutes. But Norman lets him know how disappointed he is that Harry's not here yet, as this party was supposed to serve as an important meeting for Harry and the company. And Harry tries to apologize, but again, Norman ain't for excuses. And then he asks Harry if he knows what Norman's favorite memory of Harry is. Then he tells him that it's the day he finally started acting like a man, like an Osborn. But the problem is, that moment hasn't yet happened, which is kind of brutal. But just as Norman goes to tell Harry that they're all waiting on him, we see that shot fired by the Maker's Council, and in a mere moment, Harry goes from being chewed out by his father to watching his entire world come crashing down as the penthouse gets absolutely obliterated in the blast. And then we pick up weeks later as Harry and Gwen meet with the Osborn's attorney regarding Norman's estate. And while everything passes to them, the company itself will take a bit longer, approximately 6 months, which if you remember is the time frame for Tony Stark to come back. But because Harry is the sole named beneficiary, controlling interest in the company will belong to him. But until then, both he and Gwen will at least sit on the board. But aside from all of that, there's still one more thing he goes over with them, as he shows them a card that was delivered to his office earlier in the day. And although they're not sure what it means, the lawyer does know who the insignia belongs to. And then on the following day, Harry takes that card into a meeting with Kingpin. And right now, with the fall of Stain Stark, Wilson Fisk has been named both the Shadow Governor of the Greater New York Territory and the Kingpin of Manhattan, which means he'll be running everything, which he tells Harry is good for him because he needs a favor from Harry that only he can provide. But Harry doesn't understand because he's not his father and he doesn't have his same influence. But influence isn't quite what Fisk needs. What he needs is for Harry to buy Stain Stark and keep it from rising back up. Then 2 weeks later, we find Harry and Gwen cutting into one of Stark's off-site facilities. And when they get into this site, they have no idea what they'll find. But then they're all shocked when they find the Iron Man armor, along with a fully functional arc reactor. And then the third guy alongside Harry and Gwen is able to get into the access terminal to see what type of data he can get his hands onto. And then we find out that this third man is none other than this universe's Otto Octavius. But in the terminal, they've got everything. Accounts, suit designs, and all. Which smartly prompts Gwen to force Otto into an NDA before he can go any further. Which he happily obliges to. And then we pick up 4 months ago as Otto and Harry complete modifications to the Iron Man armor, creating the Green Goblin armor. And not only that, but also some fancy new toys like Goblin bombs and a glider. And in addition to those, he finds that when he puts on the helmet, He's linked into a network showing him the location of all of the Stark tech all over the place. And right now, there are over 100 signals, with the first new signal appearing just the night before. And they kept appearing every couple of minutes until they finally stopped around 9 a.m., leaving Harry eager to check them all out. And then we pick up 3 months ago when Spider-Man first took out the suit and had his horrible debut against the Shocker. And we see that right after the Shocker left Spider-Man, he came face to face with the Goblin. And when the Shocker attempts to use the tech on the Goblin like he did with Spider-Man, this time the tech is shut down and doesn't work. See, Harry's not there for the money the Shocker stole, but instead he wants the Stark tech gloves and to know where he got them. He even offers to let the Shocker keep the money as long as he gives up the info. So the Shocker reveals that he went to rob this guy's apartment, but turns out the man must have just passed away from a heart attack or something while sitting in his favorite chair. But he noticed a light with Tony Stark talking, and when he finished, the gloves were just sitting there. So he decided to put them on. So as Harry now ponders the possibility of Stark still being alive, the Shocker tries to attack him while Harry's not paying attention and declaring that he plans to keep the gloves for himself. But when he lunges and connects with Harry with a massive blow, Harry barely feels it, prompting the Shocker to try and use the line about his sick wife, the one that he had previously used on Spider-Man. But Harry doesn't fall for it, and he takes back the gloves and leaves the Shocker laid out unconscious. And then we pick up 2 months ago, right after Peter and Harry's first meeting when they went out for drinks. And it's here where Harry asks Peter if Tony Stark appeared for him, giving him his suit. To which Peter admits that is how he got it. But when Peter asks if the same happened for Harry, Harry admits that he did not. And he had to find out about all of this the hard way. More specifically, that after Stark was thought to be involved in the death of his parents, he inherited his father's company. And then he was given Stark's company as well. And when reading through all of the Stark family secrets, he found out that the people who gave him Stark's company might just be the most evil people in the history of the world, he tells Peter. And that it's very possible that it was them and not Stark who are really responsible for his parents' death. And because of that, he now has a new job. But then Harry asks Peter if he knows why Stark picked him. And Peter tells him that Stark told him that he was supposed to be someone else and have a different life, which was stolen from him by the same people Harry's talking about, and that he was supposed to be a hero. And as soon as he said it, Peter claims that he knew it in his bones. And it's right here that he and Harry make a pact to do something about it, because that's what heroes do. And then we pick up with now as Harry takes off his Goblin mask while speaking with someone that he has as a prisoner. And he tells this mystery person that he first thought it was this person's suit that gave him his powers. But after the month that it took to peel him out of the suit, he was surprised to find out that the person had an embedded exoskeleton underneath his skin, and that Harry taking that off had to hurt. And then we see that it's Bullseye, and this is where he was taken after Harry and Peter took him down. And Bullseye responds to Harry's comment about pain by telling him that pain is a part of the process. And then when Harry asks about his eye, he replies that when his master lost his, he, along with the rest of his brothers and sisters, or students of this master, all tore theirs out in solidarity. And I'm sure, of course, the master he's talking about is Captain Britain, who lost his eye in the Ultimate Universe one-shot. But it's that type of devotion that Harry is dealing with now. But Harry isn't fazed by that, as he tells Bullseye that he truly believes that Bullseye and his masters are committed. But Harry's committed as well, and he insists that Bullseye will give him all the answers that he needs, no matter how long it takes. But Bullseye assures him that the answers won't help Harry, and everyone thinks that they want to be a hero until it actually costs something. And it always does, and they make sure of that. And then they'll see what he really is. And Harry replies that his father always talked about the difference between being a boy and a man. And maybe he was right. But maybe Bullseye is as well. Is he a boy or a man? A hero or something else? I guess we're about to find out, he tells Bullseye as he puts the mask back on. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the issue. So what did you guys think about the issue? And what do you think about this version of Harry Osborn as the series begins to unfold? I, for one, kind of like this version so far, as he's a lot less whiny than the original, and a lot more like his father Norman, seemingly. Which I think will make things a lot more interesting moving forward. But like I said in the opener of this video, I know quite a few issues have already been released, but I'm going to try my best to catch things up. So if you've already read ahead, then please try and refrain from spoilers until we can catch up. But you guys know I want to hear all your thoughts and theories on where this story is right now, and how you're feeling about this opening arc to this series. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and this channel, and you'd like to support the channel, then you can do so by stopping by the Comics Icon store and picking up some Comics Icons merchandise, including the background music heard right here in this video available for download. Or by joining the Iconic Fan Club channel membership, and there'll be a link in the description to join. But with your membership, you'll get loyalty badges, member shoutouts in these videos, and up to 20% off of Comics Icons merchandise from the Comics Icon store. And even the chance to pick a video of your choice for me to post. Plus, we've got tiers to the memberships as well, beginning at just 99 cents. Or you guys can donate to the channel with a super thanks. And if you're not able to do any of that, then you can still help out this channel's future tremendously by dropping a like, share, and subscribe in the Comics Icons for more icons in the comic book world. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. I'm out.